Hi guys, my name's Nick Jennison on behalf of Victory Amps, and today we're taking a look at my 6 favourite tones from Victory's new V1 Sheriff pedal. Now the V1 Sheriff is Victory's Sheriff line of amplifiers distilled into a distortion pedal, and you might think about these as those classic 70s and 80s and beyond British amp tones. Now again, we're dealing with those classic plexi type tones through to hot-rodded kind of like 80s high gain type tones as we start to turn the gain up. We'll get to those in a moment, but for the time being, let's grab some single coils and let's see if we can evoke the spirit of Jimmy with our V1 Sheriff. And sticking with iconic British EL34 tones for a moment, let's see if we can't bag ourselves some Eddie in the process. We're going to turn up the gain, dip just a little bit of mid-range. We're still running into a clean amplifier at this point. Let's take a listen to that sound. Now, one of my favourite British distortion tones is that particular early 70s sound where it had a real nasal honk on the go. To that end, we're going to turn up the mid-range, we're going to grab ourselves some P90s, and we're going to run into the clean sound on our Victory Super Kraken, which has a bit more of a mid-range presence. Let's take a listen to that sound now. Now, the V1 Sheriff pedal has a ton of great sounding gain built right in, but you can run distortion pedals into it and get some really killer results too. To that end, we're actually going to set it up with a fairly low gain sound. We're going to grab some single coils and we're going to dime an overdrive pedal into the front of our V1 Sheriff for a tone that I'm terming the Swedish shred tone. Now that's a lot of gain with a pedal straight into the front, but we don't need any pedals to get a really killer gain tone out of our V1 Sheriff. To that end, let's grab some humbuckers. We're going to turn the gain way up, dip a little bit of mid-range out, and we'll see if we can't evoke a classic 80s British metal tone. Now, all the examples so far have been running the V1 Sheriff into a clean amp, but we don't have to run it into a clean amp. And if you have an already distorted British sound, like Gain 1 on a Victory Super Kraken, we can perform a really cool trick with the V1 Sheriff that is a little like installing the Jose Arredondo mod into your already distorted British sounding amp. We're going to keep the gain at a moderate level, keep the volume low, turn the bass down so it doesn't get too flubby, and push the mid-range just a little bit to take us from classic British crunch into searing modded lead territory. So there you go, guys. That's been a look at my 6 favorite tones from Victory's V1 Sheriff pedal. Make sure you check out the other videos in this series where I'll be doing a deep dive on the other pedals in Victory's V1 range. My name's Nick Jennison on behalf of Victory Amps, and I will see you next time.